Hey guys, welcome to another PD Outside the Box. I am so excited that you're here. Today we're going to focus on an instructional strategy called rock and roll because, duh, doesn't that seem so fitting with our theme for this year? So we're going to look at this. I'm going to show you both ways: how to do it on paper versus how to do it digitally. Maybe give you a couple new tips and tricks and things like that that you might want to utilize. But let's take a look. Okay, so you guys know I love Canva, right? So I'm going to start off showing you guys this with Canva. I am not sure if you guys knew this, but Canva has an AI feature. They kind of introduced it last year. I know we talked a little bit about it, but you can actually code different kinds of games. Okay, so I'm going to hop over here real fast to our strategy. So the strategy that we're going to use today is, like I said, it's called rock and roll vocabulary. And basically what it does is it uses the vocabulary words that you guys are using, and it uses a dice. Okay, so you can buy those pretty cheap at Walmart, or we can get digital techie with it and we can create a digital dice. So if you're using this part right here, just and I'm going to include all of this for you. They actually have a virtual die, which is great. Like that works. But I wanted something that was embedded into a presentation for my students to use. So the whole idea of it is the student rolls a die, and they answer questions based off of that. So they have different ideas right here. Of course, please do whatever you want to with that. I just used their templates that were already created and took a screenshot. So let me show you what mine looks like. So this is what it looks like. This is a screenshot of one of their ideas, their examples. This is a vocabulary words that I took from third grade math module in Bluebonnet. And then this is the game that I created in Canva. And I'm going to show you guys how to do that. So look what happens when we present this or you create a link. So you can have this up here on the board. The students can roll the dice or the die, I guess. There's only one. And so whatever this number is correlates to what is over here, right? So the whole goal is you do this in partners. You can do two, you can do four. I mean, you can just do whatever. Partners make sense to me. So the first person is going to pick a word and they're not going to tell the partner what the word is. So let's say they decide to do factors. Okay. So the partner rolls the dice, and then whoever chose, oops, sorry about that. Whoever chose the vocabulary word gets to do this activity over here, and that person has to try to guess it. So I chose factors, but I didn't tell my person. So I can sketch my secret word like this. So I could have a whiteboard, or you could have this printed, whatever you want to do with that. And I could make factors of a number. And then the person has to try to guess it and see which one it is. Okay. So let me show you how you can make this. All right. So in Canva, like I said, they have an AI activity where you can, I mean, you can create images, you can code, you can create a doc. There's so many things that you can do. So I'm just going to say, I want a virtual dice that students can roll, but I want it with a white background so I can embed it in a presentation. Sorry, embed was wrong. Okay, so then I just click on this and watch the magic happen. So it's going to basically create a code for you. So this one's going to take a little bit longer than if you were to, I don't know, decide you wanted to make an image or something like that, right? So what it's doing is it's literally creating your code for you. So I searched a lot. Like I try to find extensions, but then extensions make me nervous because sometimes it messes with our speed on our like Google Slides or on our browsers. And so I just thought this was a really cool option that we could do. Now, you could also get really creative and already know your vocabulary words that you want to use, and you could have them create, hey, look, it created something different. That's super cool. So mine looks a little bit different than the first one that we did. So that's good to know. In fact, I actually like this a little bit better. So, and you could keep asking it questions, right? So you could modify, you could change if you had like if I wanted it to be go hard colors, I could say I want it maroon and white. So I'm just going to show you what it looks like. Click this and it rolls the die. Pretty cool, right? So how we use this in a design is you literally just click this button, say use in a design. So I want to use it in a presentation. And so look what happens. It plops it right into my presentation. So now I can move this anywhere that I want to. So maybe I want it on this left-hand corner right here. I can make it larger, just whatever you want to with that. So this is where you get to be creative. You could, well, I guess that would kind of defeat the whole purpose of knowing the secret word, but you could also create flashcards on here for the students to flip over, but the other student would see that, right? But you could take it a step further. After this game, you could create matching for them to practice that vocabulary word. So, okay, so the next thing that I did is I just took this. So since we're dealing with math, I just took the English part of this and I screenshotted. That's a really weird word. And it's probably not going to pop up for us because it's not in that window, but I just took a screenshot of that. Okay. And then I added it to, let me go back to my copy right here. I just added it to this page. So let me get the screenshot of this for you. Now you can also create this on your own, but I like things that are already made, right? So that doesn't take me as long. So that's it, guys. So we've been doing this for like maybe 2 minutes. So I already have my virtual sorry, and I have this activity right here. This is where you'll add your words that you need to have them practice. So this could be anything from your content. I mean, the possibilities are really endless right here. And so I would just use a text box, and I don't like how it put that right there. So I could just use this text box right here and then add and change as make it larger, smaller, all of those good kind of things. So this is just a quick way to turn this into something digital like this. Okay. All right, so how do I share this with my students? So let's look at a couple of ways that we can do this. So if you notice right now, if I click on that, it's not working. So this has to either be a link, a presentation mode, or you could create this as a website. Now, the website sounds kind of weird, but it's not as scary as what you would think. It just creates another link for you to have where students could go out to. My personal ways, what I would do is I would create a public view link and share that into Google Classroom. So I would just click on that right there and say create public view link. You can keep this, you can name it, you can say anyone can access with the link. I would keep it like that. I wouldn't I wouldn't make it fully public because that's just kind of weird, but I don't know. You can do what you want to because there's not any information on here that would give student information away. So I would copy this, right? And then I would add it into a Google Classroom. And so um, I don't have a Google Classroom opened right now. So I'm just going to show you what this link looks like. So this is what it would look like for your students. So they could roll the dice right here and then they could do this activity. So how do we know that they're doing actually what they are supposed to be doing, right? Like how do I know that? So one, obviously, you're walking around monitoring and listening to those conversations. So that's just a quick monitor for you to know. You could have a little journal or a little clipboard, and you can mark it off that way. You can always have this part printed off on paper and then the students could fill it in that way and turn that in. So I know sometimes they're like, but how do I know that they're doing that? Actively monitor. That's just the easiest way for us to notice things like that. So Canva, super cool to be able to create this. And then this is already, like I said, this is already created for you because it's right here. I just wanted to turn it a little bit into something digital for you. So I will include a link to all of that for you. And I will also create a couple of templates for you guys to utilize that you can keep on your own, and you can modify it and you could do different things like that. I'm not going to put the vocabulary words in there because obviously that's going to change, but I can put different placeholders in there, or I will put different placeholders in there for you with that. So, like I said, I hope this is something that you can utilize in your classroom. And if you haven't played with that AI part of Canva yet, I highly suggest that you check that out. So, thanks for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye, guys.